Now, have you ever been away from home and suddenly you needed a video file, a thumbnail, or maybe a sponsor asset only to realize it's sitting in your computer back home? Or maybe your MacBook is constantly running out of storage because every 4K project takes up hundreds of gigabytes. That used to be me, okay? Over the past few months, I've been using the ZimaCube 2 as the center of my entire workflow. And honestly, it's become much more than just a NAS. Today, I'll show you exactly how I use it to edit my videos, back up all my projects, access everything while I'm traveling, and as a bonus, how I turned it to my own personal streaming server using Plex. Let's get started. Now, as a YouTube creator, storage disappears incredibly fast. Every review I film is in 4K. Some projects end up being over 200 gigabytes before I'm even finished editing. At first, I was doing what most people do, okay? Buying more external SSDs. That's a typical way. Then another one, and then another one. Eventually, I had drives scattered everywhere, and I was constantly asking myself, which drive did I save that project on? I know I filmed that clip, but where is it? It became frustrating. So instead of adding another external drive, I wanted one place where everything lived. This is how my workflow looks today. Whenever I finish filming a product, I transfer everything directly into my ZimaCube. I organize all my footage into folders, robot vacuums, smart home, mini PCs, some gaming, camera reviews, even sponsors. That way, everything has its own place. No more hunting through random external hard drives, okay? Now, whenever I need an old project, I already know exactly where it is. Everything is organized and accessible from one location. Honestly, just having everything centralized has made editing so much less stressful. Now, one question I get all the time is, can you actually edit directly from a NAS? Now, for my workflow, I actually do. When I'm home, my Mac connects to the ZimaCube over my home network. I also use the Thunderbolt port to make my editing even faster. I simply open DaVinci Resolve, choose the project stored on the NAS, and start editing. I don't need to copy hundreds of gigabytes every single time. This Mac Mini actually is only 256 gigs. And in fact, I only have 44 gigs available to it. But because I can edit straight from the ZimaCube 2, I'm able to expand its SSD to whatever I want. Now, the footage stays on the server while I edit. That also means my MacBook isn't constantly filling up with completed projects. Now, instead of managing storage every single week, I can focus on actually making videos. Now, here's something that gives me even more peace of mind: backups. As a content creator, our footage is everything, right? If I lose a project after filming an entire review, there's a good chance I can't recreate it. Sometimes, I've always shipped the product back. Sometimes, it was filmed while traveling. Sometimes, the moment is just gone forever. That's why I don't rely on just one drive. My active projects live on SSD storage inside the ZimaCube because it's fast enough for editing. But I also have a larger hard drive inside the system that back up my projects and important files. So if one of my SSDs ever fails, I still have another copy of everything. For example, this guy right here is HDD 28 terabytes where everything lives. This is my RAID backup, and I edit from SDA, which is this guy right here, which is only 2 terabytes, but it's an SSD NVMe. So that way it's fast when I'm editing, and it automatically backs up everything to the SDC, and everything is also accessible online, whether it's on the SDA, SDC, even this 4 terabyte NVMe. So as soon as I leave my house, I can still go back to my project and start editing. It's one of those things hopefully you never need, but every storage drive, of course, eventually fails. I'd rather spend a little extra time setting up backups than lose years of work. For me, that peace of mind is worth it. Now let's talk about one of my favorite features here is obviously remote access, right? I travel quite a bit for product launches and creator events, Before having this setup, I forgot a file and that was it, right? I'd have to wait until I got home, but now it's completely different. If I need a thumbnail, I just download it. If I need a B-roll for a sponsor, again, it's already there. If I need an old project, no problem. I can access my files almost anywhere that I have an internet connection. It honestly feels like bringing my home office with me without actually carrying it around. Now, it isn't just my laptop either. I can also access everything from my phone. Whether I'm sharing files with a brand, downloading photos, uploading footage, or just checking on a project, it's all available. There have been plenty of times where a company needed a file while I was away from home. Instead of telling them I'll send it later, I can usually send it right away, right there and then. That's incredibly convenient. Now here's the fun part, okay? Besides using the ZimaCube for work, I also installed Plex. Now if you've never heard of it, think of it as like your own personal Netflix. Except instead of streaming someone else's content, you're streaming your own. Movies, TV shows, anime, home videos, whatever you decide to store there. Now, every TV in my house can access my media library. And when I'm traveling, I can still watch my collection from almost anywhere. No monthly subscriptions as well. No ads. Just my own media library available whenever I want it. I honestly didn't expect to use Plex as much as I do, but it becomes one of my favorite features here. So what surprised me the most wasn't any single feature, okay? It was how everything worked together. I edit from it, I back up my projects, I access files while traveling, and I stream movies through Plex. Instead of having separate devices for every job, everything is running from one system. It has simplified my workflow more than I expected. Now, do I think everyone needs a NAS? Honestly, not really, okay? If you mostly store a few documents and family photos, cloud storage might be all you need. But if you're a content creator, a photographer, a videographer, someone working with large files, if you shoot weddings, for example, or simply want your own personal cloud with complete control over your data, then I think a setup like this makes a lot of sense, especially if you're tired of juggling external drives like I was. After using the ZimaCube 2 for a while, I don't really think of it of just a NAS anymore. For me, it became a center of my entire workflow. It's where I edit my videos, it's where I store my projects, it's where my backup lives, it's how I access my files while traveling, and it's even my personal media server through Plex. Instead of having 4 or 5 different devices doing 4 or 5 different jobs, one system now handles almost everything. And that's what I appreciate the most. If you're thinking about building your own creator setup or personal cloud, hopefully this gave you a better idea of what that actually looked like in real world. If you have any questions about my setup or wants to see more in-depth tutorial on how I configured everything, let me know in the comments below. As always, thanks so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe to my channel and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace!